Welcome to EB Live. Join our chat with Lee Goldberg, author of the best-selling Monk original novels.
Someone else is asking if we're going to be having a dream novel where Monk meets Sherlock Holmes. I get lots of requests to have crossovers with Monk and Columbo, Monk and Sherlock Holmes, Monk and Jessica Fletcher. Monk is enough on his own. I don't think we want to bring in another detective to share the spotlight. Monk is the star of the books.
I would say Monk and Manimal.
Yeah, that would be a great one.
That's the one I'd stand in line for that.
Let's see, any other new questions? I need to talk to the director if he can scroll up because we have the same old questions here. That was the last question. We're done with the new questions.
Oh my God! Maybe Nick has another question.
Yeah, I have a whole list right here.
Well, what's the top one on your list, Nick?
How did you originally come up with the plots, or did a certain person influence this show, or?
Well, that's
anything?
easy. We're ripping off old Hardcastle and McCormack, so that's an easy one. What's the second? No, I'm kidding. How do we come up with the plots? Did someone influence? I'm sorry, Nick. What was the second part?
Who did you plagiarize for this?
Yeah.
Did someone influence the show, or have like a role in it, or something?
I'm so sorry. Did a real person influence us?
Yeah, or did you like see someone or have them relate to the show or in any way?
Oh, I'd say your brother.
Oh, well, yeah,
Yes.
well, yeah, exactly. I gotta give full props to my brother Andy Breckman, who created the show. Although David Hoberman, a producer on the show, an executive producer on the show, and a big wheel out here in Hollywood land, actually had the first kernel of an idea about I think originally it may have been a cop with OCD, and he had been working with my brother on a movie project or something at the time, and hit my brother with this idea, and said, Andy, would you like to develop this? And Andy took that ball and ran with it. I don't know if Monk is based on any single real or fictitious person. Again, there are elements of Sherlock Holmes in there, elements of Columbo. Again, yes, elements of my brother.
Elements of Hogan's Heroes.
Maybe a little bit of Bob Crane or something. No, I'm kidding. But no. The short answer is no. Not one person inspired. No one person inspired Monk.
Teresa asked David about the Gourmet Detective.
Oh my gosh.
Pilot.
Oh, thank you, Teresa, for asking about a pilot that I'm co-writing with a Monk director and producer named Randy Zisk, a exceptionally talented man. It's about another eccentric private detective, and we'll see if that gets on the air. We're doing our level best. No word yet.
Deb is asking what my writing process is. Do you outline or begin with the end in mind? With a whodunit murder mystery, you absolutely have to outline because it's a very intricate puzzle, and if you don't know where to drop the clues and where to drop the red herrings, the plot just spins out of control. And David and I can mention, but we won't, mystery writers, we can tell who plot as they go, and it's infuriating. We are both big fans of well-plotted, well-thought-out, honest mysteries where you can go back through the book or rewind the tape on the episode and see the clues that you missed. I mean, it's a real challenge, and it's really hard, but it's very satisfying to write a good, solid mystery.
Like Monk the show and Monk the novel.
Yes. And so yes, I do outline. And I outline using the structure I've picked up from years of doing television, where you have to turn in an outline before you're given the green light to write a script. So I tend to write my book outlines in a television 4-act structure, which I think helps my books feel like a TV show in a good way, but also gives them a kind of narrative drive and energy that is often missing from some mystery novels, I like to think. Any other questions here? Oh, from Teresa again.
Oh my
what
gosh.
guest stars can we expect in the last half of the season?
Oh my gosh. Well, my gosh, what am I allowed to talk about? Teresa, we're gonna have to talk off the air because I don't know yet if I say something impulsively now, I may get a lot of grief for it in 15 minutes. So we will talk off the air. Give me a call, Teresa, in the next day or so.
Oh, Caitlin, thank you, Caitlin, for the question. It would be cool, she says, to see a book from Sharona's point of view. I've actually thought about doing that. I wrote a book called Mr. Monk and the Two Assistants a couple years before the show decided to bring Sharona back, but it seemed like that would be an impossibility. And I enjoyed writing Sharona again. I've written one episode with Sharona, Mr. Monk Goes to the Fire. No, it was Mr. Monk Goes to Mexico I wrote with Sharona and my writing partner, William Rabkin. And that was a lot of fun. She's a little more acerbic, a little more pointed, and creates a little more conflict than we sometimes get with Natalie. But I think if I wrote a book in her voice, it might be a little grating. It might be a little irritating. So I've kind of held back. Well, yeah, I've also thought of maybe doing it from Stottlemyre's point of view, a book, or from somebody else's point of view. So we'll see. After a certain number of books, I'm going to have to do something to keep things interesting for me. Oh, okay. Well,
Hey.
I want to thank all of you for tuning in and asking us great questions about Monk. And I want to thank my very special guest, David Breckman, for coming
Wouldn't
in.
miss it.
Just wanted
Miss
to
it.
remind you that the next Monk novel, Mr. Monk in Trouble, will be coming out on December 2nd, along with the paperback edition of Mr. Monk and the Dirty Cop. New episodes of Monk return next Friday at, is it 8 or 9 o'clock, David? 9 o'clock on USA? So we hope you'll tune in, and we hope you'll buy the books.